Welcome to springlib.
Let's begin by computing the difference of a plus 1 cubed minus a cubed. So we expand the cube, so that's a cubed plus 3a squared plus 3a plus 1. And then we have minus a cubed. And so the whole difference is 3a squared plus 3a plus 1. Now let's write the sum for k that goes from 1 to n of 3k squared plus 3k plus 1. This is because of the observation above, just the sum k from 1 to n of k plus 1 cubed minus k cubed. But now this is a telescopic sum, therefore this sum just turns out to be n plus 1 cubed minus 1. On the other hand, the first sum that we've written, we can split it into its various sums, so that's 3 times the sum of k squared plus 3 times the sum of k plus the sum of 1. Now, the first sum, so the sum of k squared, that's the sum that we're looking for. Let's just quickly call it S. So that's 3 times our sum plus 3 times, and then for the sum of k, we already have a formula. That's n plus 1 divided by 2. And then for the last sum, the sum of 1, well, there are as many ones as numbers from 1 to n, so that's exactly n. Okay, so now we have a formula directly relating S and n. So we can write our sum, so k that goes from 1 to n of k squared. By isolating S in the previous formula, that turns out to be n plus 1 cubed minus 1 divided by 3 minus n plus 1 divided by 2 minus n divided by 3. Which would be a good enough formula already, but it turns out we can simplify it more. So let's collect everything. So we have 6, and then let's expand all the powers. So the first fraction becomes n cubed plus 3n squared plus 3n plus 1, and then we have also minus 1. Then we have minus 3 times n plus 1 is n squared plus n. And then the last fraction just becomes minus 2n. Now let's compute all the products and factor out all the various powers of n. So after doing that, we are left with 2n cubed plus 3n squared plus n, all divided by 6. So right off the bat, we say that we can factor out an n, so that becomes n that multiplies 2n squared plus 3n plus 1. And now this simple algebra, that trinomial there is just the product of n plus 1 and 2n plus 1. So everything divided by 6. And we found an elegant closed formula for the sum of the cubes.